Hello everybody, welcome to Accounting Face YouTube channel. My name is Shoaib Ismail. This is module 1 of Essentials of Microsoft Excel, the very first video and the first part of the series Fundamental of Microsoft Excel. In this video, we're going to look at how we can launch Microsoft Excel. We're going to look at how we can study and understand the Microsoft Excel interface. We're going to look at how we can save Excel document and open an existing Excel document. So without much further ado, let's take a look at how we can launch Microsoft Excel. Now, there are several ways to launch Microsoft Excel application. Let's look at few of these different approaches. One of them is using the Start button. Now, indisputably, the place to start any program in Windows is at the Start button. So in my case, I'm going to move down to the lower left corner of my screen, click on the Windows icon or the Windows logo here. This shows the Start menu. Now, I do want to alert you that depending on the version of Windows you have installed, the Start menu may look a little different, but the same concept applies. To some of you, you will see all apps or all programs, especially if you are using an earlier version of Windows down here. So you see all apps down here or all programs if you are using Windows 7 or the earlier versions of Windows 10. In that case, all you need to do is to click on all apps or all programs and you'll have access to a similar start menu as this. So I'll scroll down to E until I locate Excel here. I'll click on it and Microsoft Excel is launched. Moreover, if you are using an earlier version of Microsoft Office, say 2010 or 2013, the application is categorized under Microsoft Office when you visit the Start menu. So you need to scroll down to M for Microsoft Office. So this, what I mean is, when you go to your Start menu here, you have to scroll down to M. If you are using Microsoft Office 2010 or 2013, you'd have to scroll down to M, because in those versions, Microsoft Excel is categorized under Microsoft Office. So under M here, we have Microsoft Office, and then you have to open that Microsoft Office and then get your Microsoft Excel application from that category. Now, another option we can use to launch Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to close this one quickly. Another option we can use to launch Microsoft Excel is using the search command. So in that case, all I need to do is to activate the search box by clicking here and then type into it Excel. And then the filter result will give me Microsoft Excel. All I need to do now is to click on it and Microsoft Excel application is launched. Now, the first screen you may see after launching or after starting Microsoft Excel is called the start screen. So this is our start screen here. This screen appears only when you initially start Microsoft Excel, and it works to help you get started by opening a recent document. It also gives you option to open other documents you have saved or you have given to you, so other documents can be opened. And then it also gives you an option for a blank document, and then the template also here. So these are templates from Microsoft Office application. So you have this template, your personal monthly budget, sales report, billing statement. These are all templates from Microsoft, and this is the work blank document here. So what I want to create is a blank document. I want to start fresh. I want to start creating my own styles. I want to start putting my own data. So I'll go with the blank document or blank workbook. Click on it, and I have this. Now I have Microsoft Excel application opened in front of me. At the very top of my document is the title bar here. Now it contains the quick access toolbar on the left, the document title in the center, and then the control box to the right. Now before the control box, we also have the ribbon display command here. Now the quick access toolbar can be customized. Okay, it contains commands such as save, redo, undo, and redo here. I also have the print preview command added here. If in your case you might not see these three buttons added, these three buttons there, I had to customize my quick access toolbar to have these three buttons added. So I can use this drop down arrow here to add any tool that I want to be added to my quick access toolbar. If I feel I always do sorting and ascending or descending order, I can add that to my quick access toolbar. If I feel I always do spell checking or I always do emailing, then I can add that so that I can easily click on that to have access to that particular tool. Moreover, another way we can add an item to the quick access toolbar is by right clicking on that particular item. So if I'm working with a data and then I'm using a data tool, then I can click on that particular item, maybe filter, and then add that to the quick access toolbar, and that will be added here. So I don't need to navigate down to data tab before having access to this. Right on my home tab, I can have access to this particular tool here. Now right below the title bar, I have the ribbon. This is the graphical tab interface that is directly below the title bar. It contains all Excel commands which appear as buttons. Some also appear as input boxes and others appear as menus. Now the ribbon is divided into tabs. We have the home tab, insert tab, draw tab, page layout tab, and so on and so forth. Now the commands on the ribbon are separated into groups. We have one group here, another group here, another group here. Now these groups are separated by a thin line. So we have clipboard group here, font group here, alignment group here, number group here, styles group here, another styles group. So under each of the tabs we have this category or this group of items. These tools are grouped there. If I want to do anything about alignment in my application or in my work, all I need to look at is this particular group of items here. That will take care of my alignments. Moreover, the commands in groups also change as you change the window size. So if you're on a smaller window screen, some of the names will not show, but only the icon of those particular commands will be shown. So if I make this screen smaller, the window smaller here, then I can have some of them showing me only the icons, but like this. So I have this category here showing me only cells, but when I click on this, I can have access to the other commands and that particular category. All these tabs here perform similar functions. They contain tools and then commands that help us edit our application, that help us manipulate our application. The only exception is with the file tab. Now the file tab, anytime we click on it, gives us access to the backstage view. This helps us to control the overall nature of the application. So we can look at it. Looking at the backstage view, I can save my document, I can print it, I can share it, I can export it to a different form. Then also surely I can close this particular workbook without closing the whole of Excel application. So I'm going back to my Excel workbook here. Now right below the ribbon we have the formula bar. Okay, this formula bar is going to be very relevant and more useful when we start entering data and editing that data, as well as adding formulas and calculations. So at the moment we've not started working, we've not started adding any information, so we'll have to wait. When we get to entering of data, we'll see its usefulness. Down at the very bottom of the screen we have the status bar. It is very dynamic depending on what we are doing and what we have selected. You will see different options showing up on this status bar. Now looking at my screen, I have a blank workbook open in front of me. This workbook contains a worksheet represented by a little tab down here. So we have it as sheet 1. Now a single workbook can contain about 255 worksheets. So this worksheet, this sheet 1, it means I can have sheet 2 and sheet 3, sheet 4 and sheet 5. we can have as much as 255 of this particular worksheet in one Excel workbook. Now the workbook consists of various worksheets containing many cells. Now this worksheet, as we can see, also contains different number, or it contains a number of cells. Now these cells can be named according to their respective rows and columns. So a cell here is named according to its rows and its columns, its row and column. So that is the intersection of the row and the column comes to the intersection of the row and the column forms a cell. Note that each worksheet looks very identical with boxes known as cells, and then they all have formula bar. They also have columns, and then they have the rows. The cell address is named according to the column row configuration. So each cross section represent, so it means that each cross section represents a cell. They have an address or location based on the column and the row. So currently I'm on C6 here. So on C6, this shows that I'm on column C and row 6. So this is column C here, and then row 6 here. So that is C6. This is also shown in the name box as C6. Now, to know the number of rows in this worksheet, I'll hold down the control key. So first of all, place my I'll select the first cell, that is A1 here, and then hold down the control key and press the down arrow key. That takes me all the way to the last row in the worksheet. Looking at this figure shows me that I have up to 1,048,576 rows in a single worksheet. This is so huge. It means you can put as much data as you want, up to about 1 million data in one worksheet. And then also, if I want to know the number of columns I have in my worksheet, I can also hold it down the control key and then press the right arrow key, and that takes me all the way to the last column in my worksheet. And this shows that I have up to 16,384 columns in a single worksheet. This is so huge. Now, if you are ever lost in your worksheet, all you need to do is hold down the control key and press the home key. This will take you back to cell A1. Now let's wrap up by looking at how to save and open an existing workbook. Remember that when I opened the Excel application, I was given a blank workbook, and the name is shown here on the title bar as book 1. To keep a copy of my document for future reference and to be able to give it a unique name, I have to save it first. So this is super easy. All I need to do is to click on the File tab here. That gives me access to the Backstage view. Now on the Backstage view, I will move down to Save As and click on it. Now on the Save As screen gives me places I can save my Excel document. I have the OneDrive, which will be on OneDrive accounts. I have this PC, and then I can add another place, possibly a network computer. I can add it here, and then also I can browse for a location where I want to save this particular document. I want to save my document on this local machine, so I'll go to this PC that's representing my local machine, and I also want to save it on my desktop. So I can come here, browse, and then on the Save As dialog box, I'll select desktop here. I will name my Excel application, the file name, I'll give it a name as Mango, and then the file type is going to be .xlsx. That is the Microsoft Excel extension. So this is going to be an Excel file. So when I see this particular extension, that shows that this is an Excel document. So after setting the name and then the file tab, and also selecting the location where I want to save this file, those are the most two important things here. Then I'll click on save. Now my document has been saved, and the name I saved it in is Mango. So this is it. My document has been saved. So I'll go ahead and close this document now, since I've saved what I've done. Close it. Yes. Now I want to go ahead and look at how I can open this document. That's this saved document. I want to open it. How can I open it? I can go back to File, then go to Open. That gives me access to where I can open an application from. So this is the open screen. So, and also looking at this side to the right, I can see that these are just recently worked documents, and I can see my item here. Now if what I want to open is not located here, it means I can browse for it and look for it. If I browse, I can select the location where the item is or where the file exists, and then click on it, and then I'll open it. In my case, it is located on the desktop. So clicking on the desktop, I can have this, select it, and then open it, and then my Excel application or my Excel document is opened here. So this is all that I have for you in this video. We've looked at how we can start an Excel application, and we look at the various items or the most essential parts of Microsoft Excel application. Look at the title bar, the quick access toolbar, the control box, and then we also look at the ribbon, and then we look at the file tab giving us access to the backstage view, and then we're also able to look at the formula bar and then the name box. We look at what constitutes a cell, that's the row and then the column coming up to make a cell. We also understand that we can have as much as 255 worksheets in one workbook, and each of these workbooks look very identical. They all have cells, they all have columns, and they have rows, they all have formula bar and all other stuffs. So they all look identical. We can format all of them to look the same. Now in our next module of this part, we'll open and save our Excel document. So that's going to be the bedrock of our project in this particular series. Also, in our next video, we'll look at data and its types in Excel. See you in the next video. Bye.